Proverbs 26:4-5. Don't answer a fool according to his foolishness, or you'll be like him yourself. Answer a fool according to his foolishness, or he'll become wise in his own eyes.
What?
My head hurts with that.
There you have it, boys.
What is exactly going on?
Clearly, Christianity is false because this is so evidently a contradiction.
You're such a normie TikToker.
I mean, have you ever seen something in the Bible that was like that? Where
Don't do it.
Literally says, don't, and then do. And it's the exact same thing.
Can you imagine telling your kids advice that way? If you're like, hey, do your homework right now. What are you doing? Stop doing your homework right now. And they're like, what?
I think the moment I told my kids to stop doing their homework, they would run out of the room and lock the doors. so that that was the last word, bro. We're done.
They'll just take the one that they like the best.
Absolutely.
Eat your vegetables. Don't eat your vegetables.
Yeah. So what do you do with it?
Can we just read faster and pretend like we didn't read it?
Well, that's one way to handle it. But
definitely way to go.
To honestly deal with something like this, you've got to have what I call hermeneutics.
Yeah.
Shan.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh. What? That sounds interesting. Actually, no, it doesn't. It sounds weird.
Bears, 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 but bears, bears, bears. Boys, 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 but boys, boys, boys. Bible, 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 but Bible, Bible, Bible. Bible study Fantastica. Bears, boys, Bible study Fantastica. Bears, boys, Bible study Fantastica. Bears, boys, Bible study Fantastica. Fantastica.
Well, welcome to Bears Boys Bible Study Fantastica. We are the boys, Shan Taylor,
Jason Allen.
Sean Walker.
and we are going to handle a bear of a text, and we hope that the result is fantastic Bible study.
Absolutely. We are three pastors, and we just want to equip people to know how to read the Bible well, to study it well, and to be able to get what it actually means. And so more than just a podcast about strange Bible verses, bears of a text, we really want to be a podcast about Biblical Hermeneutics, which is effectively a really big word that means the principles that we use to interpret Scripture and that we need to understand the Bible. And so we're going to use the bear of a text to teach some of those principles, and the goal is that you should be able to apply those principles when you read the Bible on your own. That's our goal.
Before we do dive into our text, we want to take a minute to thank our sponsor for this episode, which is Dr. Molly Gray, who is the owner and operator of 4-8 Physio.
Yeah.
This is a small business here in Crestview. Molly's a member of my church. They're a great Christian family. And the idea of their business is based off of 1 Timothy 4:8, which tells us that there is some value to physical discipline, to physical training, but of most importance and most value is spiritual training and discipline. Yeah. And so a good, faithful Christian is going to operate within that biblical balance. And so the physical therapy and the wellness advice that they give there, either through Molly or her many different coaches, is going to keep that biblical balance. They have many different things that they offer there: personalized physical therapy, pelvic health care, and Pilates and performance training. I know, Sean, you recently went there. Was that for pelvic health care?
It was not. I mean, maybe in some way it's related. It was something with my leg, and she was awesome. She is awesome. She not only took care of me there and did all the things that I needed, but she gave me a workout program to help my leg get better over time, because it's an issue that has been lingering for 2 years. So I love her. I love the business. I think they're doing a great job. So 2 thumbs up from me.
Awesome. I also chatted with her about some lower back stuff and some advice on jogging and just general physical health. And she set me up on their app. You got on the app?
Yeah, they have an app. They have an app.
Hook it up.
I know, right?
I'm missing out. I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I need to hook this up.
Check her out and go see her. So got me on the app with some specific exercises I can do to address the issues or the concerns that I have. So that's what personalized physical therapy is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So we have a really cool opportunity for you listeners. You know how Taylor Swift, her fans are called Swifties?
Who's Taylor Swift?
Well, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of another example where most popular artists or shows like the super
dedicated
Trekkies, the super dedicated fans have names.
Yeah,
we need a name
for the super dedicated
listeners,
boys Bible Study Fantastica listeners.
Yeah, because what I was about to say was we have an opportunity for y'all, whatever we would call you, whatever your cute little name would be. There at 48 Physio, they have offered a 10% discount on your first service if you mention the podcast, Bears Boys Bible Study Fantastica, when you go or when you call and book your service.
Yeah, hook it up.
So
Let's go.
that's not a small amount of discount right there. 10%.
No, that's 10% is great. And as far as a name, I think we should maybe get some advice and counsel from some of the listeners. And, see if there's a good name that people come up with.
Y'all write in. Don't send letters. Comment, please.
Comment on social media pigeon to us, please.
Morse code or whatever.
No, comment. That would be the normal thing to do. Comment. I guess if you want to send fan mail, we will receive it. But comment what you should be called if you are a super dedicated fan of our show.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those super dedicated fans, I have another opportunity for you.
Okay.
Ooh.
I said that like it's a really exciting thing for you, but it's actually just an exciting thing for us, okay? I'm going to let you in behind the curtain, like a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes. We have done some trial runs on different advertising for the show, and have found what doesn't work and what we think does work, okay? The last little advertising test that we ran was pretty successful, to where now we can stop saying that we have tens of followers or even dozens of followers. Now we actually have hundreds of subscribers due to our last advertising run, okay? And so our thought is we have no pretensions of getting rich or famous off this podcast, okay?
Nope.
Speak for yourself.
If we were planning on becoming rich or famous, Bible podcasting is not the way to do it, okay? That's a fool's errand, okay? But we do believe in the mission of this podcast. We do believe
absolutely.
Helping people to know how to read their Bibles is an important kingdom work.
Absolutely.
And so the more people we can reach, the more people who have access to this podcast, who know about it, that's a good thing. We believe that's a kingdom thing. And so we're asking you, the super fans, the Fantastica Fanaticas.
Whose idea was that? Your idea?
That was my idea.
That's way too long.
Fantastica Fanaticas.
So my idea was the BIPs,
which is
the very important persons.
I'm sure
y'all gotta save us because both of those ideas are so lame that we can't even live with ourselves.
Exactly.
So please give us something good.
Give us something better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for those people who are really invested and really want to see more people have access and know about the podcast, I'm going to put a QR code on the screen to our Bears Boys Bible Study Fantastica Venmo. All right. Or if you don't know what a QR code is, the direct link will also be in the description of the podcast. And any money that you, for out of the goodness of your heart, decide to send to us, 100% of that will go towards advertising the podcast, not towards paying for our lunch. We promise that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if anybody will do this. Sincerely, would not surprise me. Because who just gives people money for no reason, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to be a patron of the show, if you want to support the show and reach more people, then really any amount would be effective. And if there's several people that give a small amount, we will reach another couple hundred people. That's the idea.
Cool. Awesome.
I don't know if it'll work. Maybe we don't have any Fantastica Fanaticas or any BIPs. We have nominal subscribers, but
that's okay.
That's okay. We'll find out. All right. Now that I'm done asking for your money, which makes me very uncomfortable, let's get on to why you're actually...
That's why we made you do it.
Yeah, that's right.
let's get on to why we're actually here, which
All
is to
right.
talk more about Nacho Libre.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is something outside of the Bible and theology that you like defending? What is something outside the Bible and theology? So, like, you have a
I have
strong
an immediate
opinion.
answer.
You do?
Immediate answer.
Okay.
The movie Cars, and all of them, are poisoning your children's brains.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, what is your argument for that?
I'm so glad that you asked,
Oh,
because
gosh, here we
I want
go.
hundreds of followers to hear this.
You did it. You did
I
this.
want to
This is-
protect your children's brains. Okay, whenever a person engages in any kind of narrative, especially fiction, it requires for them to truly enjoy it what is called the suspension of disbelief. Meaning, this is not a true story, and especially if there has elements of fantasy, these things are not real things. And so, to enter into the narrative, to enjoy it, you have to choose, not consciously, but you choose to suspend your disbelief so that you can receive the narrative. An example of when someone did not suspend their disbelief was when I was in the movies. This has been, when did the bad Superman movie come out? It's like Superman Returns.
It was around 2005, 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say high school. Yeah, I was, or high school for me. And so I was in the movie theater, and there's the scene where they're on the rooftop, and there's a guy shooting Superman with like a machine gun. And then it goes slow-mo and the bullets are pinging off of Superman's chest, right? And then there's one where it zooms in and the bullet comes in very slow and it hits Superman's eyeball, and the bullet bends and then bounces off, okay? And I distinctly remember the person sitting behind me going, yeah, right. And I was like, that's the moment for you?
Yeah.
He's an alien from a whole nother galaxy that now pulls solar radiation into his body so that he can fly, have super strength, shoot lasers out of his eyes, blow super winds. The only thing that hurts him is a rock. But that's the moment for you when you're like, no, too far.
Nope.
And so even though that's a funny example, that is an example of when this man could no longer suspend his disbelief. It became too unbelievable for him, and he could no longer enjoy the narrative. Okay? When we are asking our children to suspend their disbelief so that they can enter into the narrative of the Cars world, we are asking
he's
them.
so serious about
We are
this right
asking them. We are asking them to accept and to believe, to receive into their minds an incoherent world. Because why do cars exist if people don't exist? The entire anatomy of a car doesn't even make sense unless a person is a thing. What's the door for? Why? What are the seats for? The design of a seat, the design of the cockpit is to receive a human body. And so there is this world where there are cars, and even the bugs are tiny cars, and there are no people. And so we are telling our children, just believe things that don't make any sense. Receive that into your mind. Don't think critically about, would the movie Toy Story be good if there were no children? No, because toys only make sense if there are children to play with toys.
That's a terrible point.
No, it's not.
Horrible.
No, that's a great...
No, here's why.
Because the movie Toy Story would be a terrible movie.
Not the toys thing. I
Okay.
agree with that.
Okay.
I just think your entire point is terrible because you're like, we don't want to teach our kids to believe something that is clearly not true. I mean, they have seats and humans aren't in there and humans would need the seats and that's why the seats would exist. Yeah, they're talking cars, bro. They have mustaches.
Yeah.
What would be the point of a mustache on a car? I mean, like, there are so many other things to me that would
the
stand
whole
out.
movie is incoherent. Not just that one part, but the whole thing is incoherent.
Well,
right?
no, the story's coherent.
No.
The form.
Listen.
There is
here's how
absolutely nothing about this conversation that's even remotely coherent.
Here's how they could fix it for me. Okay, before the movie starts, a black screen and then white text comes on the screen for a pretext for the movie. In a post-apocalyptic world where cars have become sentient and have eradicated the human race.
That would do it for you.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, okay, now I get
And
it.
then you'd be like, oh, that's why the flies are shaped like cars. That makes sense.
Note to self. Note to self: if you're Shan's youth pastor and you're going on a youth trip, don't put cars on the tour bus.
Any other movie.
I won't watch it.
Any other
It's
movie.
a no-go.
I won't watch it. I'm not poisoning my brain.
All right. Well, anyway,
Meg has sneakily shown cars to my children when I was not home, and I was not happy.
yeah. Man,
Forget
They're gonna
Red
have-
40. Forget all the dye that we're worried about.
it's the cars.
It's cars. That's what's really going to destroy that entire
goodness.
generation.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
My thing that I used to love to like debate about or defend was why you should get a Mac over a PC.
Oh yeah.
And like I could name every single reason why it's a better value, and even though it's more expensive, it actually ends up being less expensive over time, and it's superior in so many ways. And so I would get like annoyingly passionate about like some people get about the movie Cars. I would get annoyingly passionate about it.
And I think some people isn't accurate. I think I'm the only person. One person.
Now,
Some
like,
people.
Some person.
the thing now that like I am willing to engage in regularly and defend is who is better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Oh.
Shan, those are basketball players.
Yeah.
And Shan, basketball is this game where you have okay, all right, never mind.
Was with the touchdowns?
with the touchdowns. And okay, like I believe wholeheartedly Michael Jordan is superior in almost every way to LeBron James.
The OG.
And like he is the best basketball player to ever live in my opinion, and he played in an era that was like much more difficult and brutal to play in, and he had worse teams but he has more championships. And then like the kicker to that is Space Jam 1, which has Michael Jordan in it.
Yeah. Great movie.
Is great. Space Jam 2
I haven't even seen
with
it.
LeBron James,
Yeah.
awful.
Oh, I
So,
bet. Yeah.
Case closed. So that's one argument that I'm willing to get passionate about. Jason,
when did Bears Boys Bible Study Fantastica get their first hate mail? Well, it came when Shan started talking about cars and Sean started talking about
Michael
LeBron
Jordan.
and Michael Jordan.
A recent episode, I said that somebody told me I hated Fanny Crosby. I feel like that would be.
That's pretty rough too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
What's more beloved, Fanny Crosby or cars?
It depends on the
Depends
audience.
on the
neck-
age.
neck
Depends
and
on the
neck,
age.
probably.
Depends
Yeah.
on the age. Yeah.
Jason, is there anything?
So, like, I've had various things throughout, my life or whatever, but I would say the one that I probably harp on the most is I will go to bat for Dr. Pepper any day of the week. I will celebrate and praise the goodness of Dr. Pepper in the streets to anybody that will listen.
This
And-
is gonna come back up next podcast, which we're gonna record in 2 weeks and not in 1 hour.
My shirt will be different, so
Yeah, you
clearly 2 weeks has gone by.
Clearly.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about soda again next episode.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'll say now, I don't like Cokes. I don't like sodas in general. Dr. Pepper would be the last one I would drink.
Yeah.
It's tastes like medicine to me.
No. Okay, wait, the last one? Yeah. Have you ever been to Epcot?
You about to say Beverly? Help me out here.
Beverly?
Thank you.
Have you ever been to Epcot where they have all those different drinks that you can try from around the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you tried those?
I've tried it at the Coke.
The World of Coke
Okay,
in
the
Atlanta.
Coke, yeah.
Beverly is the one that people try and are like,
That's like seltzer or something, isn't it?
I don't know.
There's some that are just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know.
Anyway.
The last one. Anyway.
But I'll die on the spear over
I know.
Dr. Pepper, man.
You're
I
a
love
Dr.
it.
Pepper guy.
I'm a
I've
guy.
heard recently that it's like having a resurgence of popularity in Gen Z. That they're like all about Dr. Pepper.
It overtook
awesome.
Pepsi in popularity.
Did you know that
Wow.
Dr. Pepper? Let's see if I'm getting this right. Dr. Pepper is one of the few sodas that is bottled by both Coke and
Correct.
Pepsi.
Yep. And you can tell the difference. They're different shaped bottles. They're slightly different shaped bottles. Yeah.
All right, what's something, like a stupid thing that you've had an argument about before? It's a stupid.
The movie Cars.
The one we just had?
Yeah.
Yes.
The one me
Basically.
and you just had?
Basically.
There was actually one between us, Shan. and your brother-in-law, who is my cousin, Mick, we were talking one time about like which is more impressive. That a band can make the same style of music very well, and it doesn't sound repetitive over years, decades. Is that more impressive? Or is it more impressive when a band that has this genre and is great at it, and then they completely change their genre and they're good at that too? Now, I take the side of to make something that sounds similar but not repetitive. That's really, really, really impressive to me. But we got into this, and do you remember this, Shan?
No, but it's an interesting question because that's a hard because I really like bands that do both.
Yeah. Well, we got into it for like 30 minutes. And we were...
And I had the opposite opinion to change?
Mick did.
Okay.
You kind of were on Mick's side, but you were not...
Because I feel undecided right now. Okay.
Yeah. And so we were yelling. We were shouting. I knocked his teeth out. He broke my nose. No, I mean, not really. But it was a stupid argument. Especially one to have on Thanksgiving. You know, like, we're just going at it with the whole family there.
You're just so thankful for music.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
Someone's trying to pray so we can eat, and we're just going at it. That was a really stupid argument now that I look back on it.
Yeah. Interesting question, though.
Well, I mean, we all have stupid arguments that we get in from time to time, whether it's about cars or music or whatever. But there are other times that you get pulled into an argument, pulled into a discussion with a fool. And the question is, should you get into it with them? Or should you just be like, all right, bro, you do you. I'm not going to touch that.
So the difference there is between a dumb argument and a dumb arguer.
Kind of.
So
Yeah.
can it be, I mean, maybe I'm a fool because I care so much about cars. Maybe that's the issue.
That'd be one of the reasons, yes. Yeah. So that kind of question lingers because we know from experience that this happens in life. And so what do we do about it? And so let's go back to the text. Jason, will you read the... Jason's gone. He left. So Jason had to run. He had a matter he had to attend to. So Shan and I will just be continuing on by ourselves.
Unfortunately, we'll miss him. But Sean drives pretty far to do this podcast, and so we kind of got to do it when we do it. So we love you, Jason. We miss you.
Feel better, Jason's family. All right, so let's look at Proverbs 26, verses 4 and 5. I'll read it. Don't answer a fool according to his foolishness, or you'll be like him yourself. Answer a fool according to his foolishness, or he'll become wise in his own eyes. Now, if ever there was a contradiction, a blatant contradiction in the Bible, this is it. You know, honestly, Shane, you could hear someone saying on an Instagram reel your favorite TikTok or a YouTube short, to know the Bible is wrong, just read these verses. Because the Bible literally contradicts itself in the next verse. The writer didn't even try to hide it. And honestly, if you are not a Bible expert or not someone who studies the Bible deeply, regularly, or if you've never heard a lesson on this, or you've never read this before, and then on a Tuesday morning, you open up your Bible and you read these verses, what are you going to think?
Wait, when you're shopping at Tuesday morning?
No, not that place.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't know they sold Bibles there.
They might, dude.
They might. Who knows what they sell there?
Businesses got to adapt.
You mean a literal Tuesday morning? Not the store.
A literal
Okay.
Tuesday morning. You open you're not a Bible expert.
Sure.
Maybe you're reading this for the first time. You read it. What are you going to think?
I'm going to do a double take and go, which one do I do? How does this make sense that they are directly contradictory?
Yeah. That is the most basic way to read it. Like the most obvious way to read it is these things are a contradiction. And
well, they seem to be polar opposites, so how can they both be true?
Exactly. And this is like for the Christian who believes the Bible is God's word, there's a huge issue here. Because if this happens right here, it says that you should do this, and then it says literally do the opposite. Well, if the Bible does that here, who's to say that it can't happen with other commands in Scripture?
Right. Yeah.
And who's to say that the Bible said, like when it says don't steal? Well, later in the Bible it says if you want something really bad, then you can steal.
Right.
Or it says don't commit adultery, but later in the Bible it says if you fall out of love, then you can commit adultery.
Or Peter says, we do not follow cleverly devised myths, meaning, the historical accounts are not mythology. But then later, I'm expecting to find the Bible say, it was all made up. It's just a big fictional story.
Yeah.
Which one is true?
Yeah.
Should I be expecting directly contradictory things said in the Bible?
Right.
These two verses kind of set you up for that expectation.
Yeah. And like when the Bible says don't murder. Well, later in the Bible it says if you are really angry because someone ate your leftovers that were clearly marked, had your name on them, you get really angry, it's okay to murder in that case. What's to stop it?
They showed your children cars when you weren't home.
Exactly.
What a betrayal.
Exactly. So, I can understand that if I were reading the Bible, having not studied this, have not heard anything on this, it's very concerning to me. Because what Bible verses am I supposed to follow? If the Bible gives a rule and then an opposite rule, aren't we kind of free to choose which one to follow? Aren't we free to go, okay, I like this one better than I like that one? And if we don't figure this out, then then we seem to be free to do whatever we want.
Sure, dealer's choice. Certainly in this example, it seems like I have the option. I get to either choose to answer a fool or not answer a fool.
Yeah.
But both are...
It's a buffet, man.
Well, both say good things about it, right? I was about to say, neither of them is a negative. I'm reading from the ESV, so it's a little bit different. But answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. So it's a warning, it's a good thing. In not answering him, you are not becoming a fool yourself. But then it says, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. So then it's saying it's a good thing. This fool is going to continue to believe foolish things and think that they're wise. And so both are good things.
Right.
So I get to choose which good thing I like best.
Right.
It's my choice. I get to choose.
Yeah, it's the dessert table. Pick which one you like.
There you go.
Well, I mean, to show my hand, the problem, of course, isn't the commands. The problem is how we're reading them.
Wait, so the Bible is inerrant inspired and infallible.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so it brings us to a hermeneutical category.
Okay, great. Which one?
The category is number 4, the structure of the text. In other words, why is the text in this shape? Does the shape of the text, the structure of the text, show us something about, does it teach us the lesson? Now, this is going to...
Well, I'm doing the structure of the text in my one too, and so the question is, did we give it the same numbers?
Well, we're going to find out.
We don't really coordinate a lot when we're preparing for these, and so even though I'm actually only presenting this lesson in 2 weeks from now,
you have time to change it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm glad you said numbers and not numbers.
Numbers and letters.
No, you said numbers. Well, now this is going to blow your mind. I don't know if you learned this in seminary, but this is something that is absolutely true. All right. The Bible is not originally written in English. Yeah. How does your PhD feel now, Shan?
Wait, hang on. I know where you're going with this. It was originally written in King James English. That's what you're trying to say.
Victorian English.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's not written in English. What is the Old Testament written in?
Hebrew.
Yeah, and I'm really
a little
glad.
bit of Aramaic.
Yeah. Especially it's quoting things in Aramaic usually when it does that. But anyway, I'm really glad you didn't say Ugaritic or something like that. Because some scholars make that argument, and it really annoys me. The Hebrew word here for answer in "don't answer a fool" is the exact same Hebrew word for answer when it says "answer a fool."
So we can't say it's a translation issue.
Exactly. It's not like we have an English word for answer and don't answer a fool, but then we don't have an English word for the Hebrew word that is answer and answerful. So Exact same word. And it's not like the translators just shrug and go, well, we don't have the right words, so just put answer in both of them, even though they are two different Hebrew words. That's not what's going on. Exact same word. Okay. Same is true for the word fool. Right?
Okay.
So it's not like it's saying, don't answer a fool, and then really, if you were to go back to the Hebrew, the next verse is saying, answer the idiot, because idiot isn't quite as bad as fool, but they happen to use fool.
Sure, yeah.
For two different words. No, they're both the same word. So it's not some secret word thing we need to figure out to understand this verse. In other words, it's not the words, it's the structure of the text, which leads to the principle that I want to talk about. It is 4.3.
That's amazing. In the next one, I'm doing 4.A and 4.B. So,
oh, praise God.
That's great. That's
Okay,
crazy.
Good. So the use of contrast.
This is perfect.
Okay, good.
This is
good.
perfect.
All right.
It's like we planned it.
I almost did 4.1.
Man,
Yeah, but I did 4.3.
it's great.
So,
Okay.
yeah, the use of contrast. Contrast.
The Lord is sovereign, clearly.
He is, man. He is. Over our podcast, for sure. Contrast is when you put two things next to each other so the difference makes a clear point. Right? Do things so the difference makes a clear point. How do you think these verses are using contrast? Or how are they contrasting? Let me just say it that way. So on a very, very basic level, how are they contrasting?
It's contrasting the two possible results of answering a fool.
Okay. But before that, it contrasts what you're supposed to do.
Answering or not answering.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the highlight of the contrast. So it's saying, don't do this and do this. Those are contrasting things. That they're basically opposites. Okay, let me ask you this. How do you tell your kids to treat a stranger?
To don't trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah. To keep a safe distance from them.
Yep.
Or to be kind to them.
Yeah.
And to be polite to them.
Yeah. So most parents would go, don't talk to strangers.
Yeah.
Especially when you're driving down the road and you see someone sketchy.
Sure.
Hey, don't talk to strangers. But then 5 minutes later, you get to church, you get your kid into their class, and there is a new kid in class who is a stranger to your kid.
Right.
And you say, hey, go talk to that new kid.
Yeah. Or even there are times when it's an adult and you're like, they're talking to your kid and they're not being polite. They're like not paying attention. They're not making good eye contact. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
be respectful to this person.
Yeah.
So
So should they talk to strangers or not? You hypocrite. Should they watch Cars or not? That's what I'm.
that's a settled issue. That if I was writing the Proverbs, there would be one that says only a fool allows his children to watch Cars.
Yeah. Okay, now what I did there, telling those two things, asking those two questions about how to treat strangers.
Yeah.
What I did is I used contrast to make a point.
Yeah.
Like, you're not actually a hypocrite for telling your kid to talk to the new kid, but then don't talk to strangers. Instead, by putting these two stranger scenarios next to each other and they're opposite, I made the clear point that you can't be trusted because you contradict yourself. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I made the point that you can talk to strangers, but sometimes you shouldn't.
Right.
And you need to have wisdom. You need to know how to think to act in a certain situation.
The same act can have two very different results.
Right. And the same act is appropriate in one circumstance and inappropriate in another circumstance.
Yeah.
And so the structure here is purposeful. Two opposite commands placed side by side. That's not a mistake.
Yeah.
It's not like they were arranging the Proverbs and the one who would arrange it went, oh, man, I meant to put this somewhere else, but I ran out of room.
Well, in the fact that they're side by side shows that it's so purposeful.
Yeah.
If the first one in verse 4 had been in like chapter 3 and then verse 5 was in chapter 27, we go, oh, that's an oversight. They didn't realize. But the fact that they're side by side shows this is not an accident.
Yeah.
And they were not confused or it's a copyist error or something like that. It means they're doing something on purpose. It means that the shape of the text is telling us something.
Exactly. So it's a teaching device. In other words, that contrast there, the do this and don't do that, that contrast makes you stop and think. It makes you pause. Because the text is saying there are times when answering a fool makes you look like a fool. And then there are times when not answering a fool lets him stay wise in his own eyes. It's not a contradiction. It's like a tension.
Sure. Yeah.
And wisdom lives in the tension.
Yeah.
So
wisdom recognizes that the world is rarely black and white, that oftentimes, like I said earlier, the same act can have two different results based off of the context, based off of the surrounding events, based off of many different things.
Right.
And so for us to take Proverbs or principles from the Bible and to say, well, this happens this way, exactly this way every single time is not fair with how life works.
Right. So what is the main subject of the book of Proverbs?
Wisdom. I mean,
okay.
I was like, I was trying to think of a more specific way of saying that.
Yeah, it's wisdom.
But to be more specific than that, it's how to live a godly and prosperous life.
Yeah. So we talked about wisdom last time I hosted. I expect you, Shan, to remember every word that I said there. But I do. I know. That's why you got the answer right. So from a biblical perspective, what is wisdom?
Well, there are three kinds of wisdom in the Bible. I started to say this when we were going through Ecclesiastes.
Yeah.
And you cut me off.
Yeah.
Can I actually say it this time?
Sure, but then I'll correct you.
Because you're going to say it's two.
I'm just going to go with one. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there's one ultimate wisdom. Okay, so the best kind of wisdom is godly wisdom, which is the kind of living that God is pleased with and is in accordance with his principles, his rules, his kingdom, right? There's also intellectual wisdom, which is just a kind of like just being smart. It's an intellectual capacity. This is what I believe Solomon was gifted with from God when he prayed and God gave it to him, right? And then there's experiential wisdom. This is the thing that old people should have because they should have learned from their life. They should have learned from their mistakes and their successes and gained and increased in wisdom in that way.
Yeah.
And so the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That's godly wisdom. Intellectual wisdom is the ability to observe the world and to make right conclusions from what you've observed. And then experiential wisdom is I've learned from the experience that I've lived.
Yeah.
So I would say, even though it's one word in the Bible, sometimes it's referring to one of those three things. Sometimes it's referring to all three of those three things.
Right.
And you have to kind of know the context and know what it's saying to know which one it's talking about.
Yeah. All right. So the real definition of wisdom, the correct definition. No, I'm going to go like you went into the specifics of it as a general a definition of wisdom. It's understanding the world in light of God. And of course, like the non-believer doesn't understand the world in light of God, but they understand the world as it was created. Science understands like how laws work. And so wisdom is understanding the world in light of God. So you fear God, you know that he made things, made this world, designed this world, and now you can understand how things work and what to do based on that, the fear of God. Part of wisdom is knowing what to do in certain situations, right? It's not memorizing a bunch of rules for every single situation. It's knowing how to respond in different situations. And so the way that we can see wisdom in these verses, like we can think of how different people do this, like open air preachers. So Cliff Nechtel, is that guy's name?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Is he a normie TikToker?
No, he's legit, dude. He is awesome.
Oh, he's good. Okay.
Yeah. Frank Turek, you know who that is? Okay, William Lane Craig, you No.
I do know that name. Yes.
Ray Comfort, Charlie Kirk did some of this.
Sure.
What they were doing is they were going to like college campuses, and they were just out on the lawn or whatever. They were interacting with different people. A lot of times they were sharing the gospel, defending the faith. Well, they have to deal with different kinds of people with different attitudes and different motivations all the time. And so the question is, when do you stop engaging with that person?
Yeah.
How does Ray Comfort know when to stop engaging? He needs wisdom.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and he might answer a fool, like this person comes up and they ask a question, he answers that fool, and then 2 minutes later decide not to answer that fool anymore because this person is now belligerent.
Sure. Yeah.
So how do they know when to answer someone and when to not answer someone? Wisdom. Right? And then let's say that...
So and if you're getting there, then just say I'm getting there and I'll cut this out. But more specifically, like verse 4 and verse 5, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. The second one to me is clear. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. You're clearly correcting someone who believes something that is incorrect or foolish. Mm-hmm. The first one, in what way are you at risk of becoming like a fool when you answer him?
It is in the answer, in the debate. So it's not like you're answering him and then you go, oh, well, now that you asked that question, I deny God and I believe that, I should just live for myself. That's not it. It is how you are engaging with someone. So there's a situation where someone is so combative that interacting with them is going to raise your blood pressure, is going to make you combative, and you're going to look like a fool.
Okay, it's describing the observer's perception of you. You are being counted a fool with the fool.
Yeah, or it could be in your heart. Some people just don't have the fortitude, don't have the self-control to get in an argument without eventually blowing their top.
Okay, could it also be like what Jesus says when he says, don't cast your pearls before swine?
Yeah.
And he's saying that is a foolish thing to do. You are wasting a limited resource, which is your time, by continuing to present this valuable gift, the gospel, to this person who has demonstrated that they're not interested in the gospel. That's a foolish thing to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And then there are other situations where you just know, if I get into this, it's going to be 6 hours. I don't have 6 hours. Yeah, I mean, which is essentially what you...
Yeah, and that's Jesus when he says, don't greet people on the road. That's what he means. He's like, be wise with your time.
Yeah.
Know that you only have so many hours for pleasantries or for debate.
Yeah.
I can think of someone once who challenged the seminary crowd, like, okay, if you're going to debate between Calvinism and Arminianism, you should, before you begin that debate with this other brother that you believe is a Christian, you're not actually trying to get them saved or whatever, right? Start a timer, time yourselves on that debate, but before you debate, agree ahead of time that you guys will spend at least that much time out in the community sharing the gospel, because your time is a precious thing, and we have a urgent mission that we are on, and it can be foolish to be answering back and forth on this thing that is of less importance than the gospel itself.
Yeah. All right, now let me give you a scenario. Let's say that you are somewhere and there's this guy who wants to talk to you about Jesus, and he's really argumentative, but he's offering sound arguments. It's not incoherent. But as you are having this long conversation, maybe it's an hour and a half, the whole time he is sipping on whiskey. Okay? And eventually he becomes drunk. How do you know when to stop answering him?
Right.
Wisdom.
Exactly. Yeah. At a certain point, you go, this is a waste of my time. This is not going anywhere, because he's not even he's not going to remember this conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. And what it's trying to teach us is how to live with wisdom in all scenarios. And what it's not saying is you take out a coin and you go, all right, heads, I'm going to go with verse 4. Tails is going to be verse 5.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you let it. No. It's saying you have to understand the way the world works in light of God so that you can live well. Now, sometimes a fool will drag you into a discussion or argument.
On Facebook.
I mean, really? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's when social media was a new thing and you would engage, people still do this, but I don't still do it. You would engage in a theological debate with somebody on Facebook. And then there's only a certain number of times that I did that before I was like, why am I doing this? What a waste of my time to type out this book to this person.
Yeah.
When realistically, I'm not going to convince them through a social media post. It would be better for me just to give them a phone call or have a face-to-face conversation with them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So before you answer someone, like when there is a situation where someone is acting a fool, before you answer them, ask, what is their posture? Are they coming to this where they're like, okay, this is what I think it is? Or are they coming to it like, I already know the answer to this and I am here to prove everybody else wrong? What's their posture? What is my motive?
That's good.
Am I here to prove myself?
Yeah.
Am I here to love this person? Am I here to try to share God's word with this person? Or am I here because I'm going to be the hero? And I'm going to defend the faith in front of everyone else, and they will see that I've got the sword in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is my motive? That's number 2. Will this help? Like, that is a very basic question. Sure. I can tell you most of the time that it's like online, the answer is no. It ain't going to help.
Yeah.
Don't answer that person, because digital courage is completely different than a real life conversation.
For sure.
So will this help is number 3. And then number 4, will this drag me down? Am I going to be pulled into the foolishness of debating something endlessly?
Right.
So ask those 4 questions. What is their posture? What is my motive? Will this help? And will this drag me down? And I mean, you know this, I know this, not every online comment deserves your energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes, and I would say most of the time, ignore it or delete it.
Yeah.
Because wisdom isn't just knowing what to say. Wisdom is knowing when to say it. Yeah. And we know that because of the contrast that is being used in these verses.
So really, I was about to say it's a 2 for 1, but it's a 2 for 3. It's giving us 2 principles, but because they are side by side and there's contrast, there is a third principle embedded. And this is getting ahead to what I'm going to say next time, which is the structure of the text is saying something without saying something. Mm-hmm. The arrangement of the words is giving information that is not included in the actual words themselves. Right. And so there's a third wisdom principle embedded in these 2 wisdom principles being side by side, because they're in that structure, which is consider the circumstances.
Yep, exactly. So to understand Proverbs 26, 4 and 5, we need to understand how contrast works, or we will miss what you just said. God isn't contradicting himself. He's using contrast to show us that we need wisdom to handle different situations in life. So again, the hermeneutical principle is 4.3.
Perfect.
The use of contrast. And it's when you put 2 things next to each other so the difference makes a clear point.
I like it.
All right.
Good stuff.
Jason, any comments?
Jason, we need you to tell us what you want the AI. No. That's
okay,
I'm going next.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Shan, what do you want the AI to make musically for the next episode? What style?
I want it to be a sea shanty, because that's what they called me on the rowing team.
Sea shanty.
Yeah.
Hey, were you really on the rowing team?
No, I'm from Kentucky. There is no rowing team. Are there rowing teams down here?
No. Well, there you get down into South Florida, the colleges they have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not really.
Okay. But
all right, so sea shanty.
Sea shanty.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking you that. You're going to be the one who creates it.
I'll do it, yeah.
You will prompt the creation of it.
I will prompt it, yes. I want to say one last time, just because I know how people work, I'm going to put the QR code up one more time, just because it's the end of the video now. You're probably more likely to do it. If you'd like for us to reach more people, this would be incredibly helpful. And, honestly, the best thing you can do is to tell people about it, to subscribe, to share posts, that sort of thing. But if that's too much work, you could always throw a tenner.
A tenner.
Yeah, a $5.
So if someone's on their phone, they see the QR code, do they screenshot it? How does that work?
If someone's on their phone, I don't know, that actually doesn't work. If you're watching on another screen, you could scan the QR code. So if you're watching on your phone, you're just going to have to click on the description and go to the Venmo link in the description.
Okay. I am willing to bet it does work if you screenshot it, and then you go into your photos, it will recognize it.
Maybe. I don't know that that's true, but it's possible.
All right. Well, whatever. Visit the Venmo is what we're asking.
Yeah. Consider
it,
supporting us. And we'll do some kind of shout out. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Some way to thank you for doing that.
Yeah. All right. This has been Bears Boys Bible Study Fantastica. I hope that you learned a little better how to read your Bible. We will see you next week.